Hello, hello. Well, next installment on the, I was going to say Condense My Life channel, but I don't think that's true. Come on, let's look.
I think you're really cool. I like you a lot. Maybe we can hang out or something. Hey, I think you're really cool. I like you a lot. Maybe we can hang out or something.
Okay, so you remember my video last week, whenever, where I was talking about Go Store It in Bluffton, South Carolina, and their shady business dealings, which is factual. I mean, you can come at me all you want. I hope you do, because then I'm going to demand 3 days worth of storage fees that you robbed me out of. Anyways, so I got another storage facility that is back to the original price that I had, and I wanted to show you. Now, I'd just taken everything and just stuffed it into the storage unit, and had to buy some shelves, which I put together. And it looks like one of them, the bottom little rail, needs to get adjusted. But anyways, I was going to take you through here, and no, that's all right. So this is it. Sorry for the glare. So I bought that rack, and there's all the shelves for 5 shelves are stacked there, and that's the extra pieces of the railing. So if I ever decide I want to get another section, I can. I'd actually thought I was buying one like that gray one, that size, that width, and Au Contraire Mon Frere. And that one was in my old storage. That one was in my old storage. That little one over there was in my old storage. And what I've done is, and all my fishing poles back there in the corner, just kind of put everything in here. This stuff was just stuffed everywhere. The shelves were just like crazy. And here, while it's equally fully involved, the shelves aren't to the point where I can't put anything else on them. And I'm not having cans and stuff like that leaking all over. And I had a spray paint can, a Rust-Oleum primer can that actually rusted. I couldn't believe it. So anyways, these are the little gloves that comes with these kits here, and they give you a little hammer to bash it together. Rather cute. So here they are, 1, 2, 3. So what I did is I wanted that paddleboard. That's a 12-foot, 32-inch. I think it's 5 inches thick, something like that. Maybe a little thinner on the rails. I wanted it off of the top of my kayak, and I didn't want it getting beat up, so here we are. We've got it stood up inside storage. It's on a pad, so the tail's not getting beat up, and that's a padded cover. The roof rails that used to be on my car, I don't know if you can see them with the glare, are right there, that lock. And all this other stuff is kind of, that's the table that I built, that's going to take apart, and I've got the arms on it, and that's a section of a leaf for a kitchen table. It's just sitting right there on top. Worked out that it's the same size. And that's a server, like a half rack server. Whatever, I don't know what's in there. Anyways, so that is just all personal stuff. Those are stand-up desk seats. And that's the desktop for a stand-up desk, and that's the frame rail back there with the hand crank to raise it up and down. But and that's the legs up there in front of the container. None of these racks are completely full or anywhere near capacity. So I've got room to grow, which is not the idea. The idea would have been to be able to compact and get rid of some of this crap. Like that bag right there is has got Hobie locking straps, and my collection of life vests that I found out kayaking or paddleboarding. There's the inflatable paddleboard here, and then that's the pump over there in that bag with the red rails. There's the pedals for my Hobie hanging off that modified bike rack that is now a ham radio antenna mount, and that's a ham radio antenna mount that I haven't finished, and that one on wheels there next to the 25 pound wheel is a ham radio dealy bop. I didn't bring all my ham radios over here, antennas over here yet. I'd actually thought that I was going to have way more room than I turned out having. So, you know, it is what it is. But it's accessible. Now I can just move that out. That's the inflatable 12 foot by 39 by 5 plus 2, 7 inches thick. That's a beast. Inflatable paddleboard. And like I said, there's all kinds of room still. Traps, there's empty space there. And I wanted at least one flat work surface in my life. That's the only one I've got. That if I get it dirty, the world isn't going to end. I thought I was going to have room for 2, and maybe if I'd have pushed that one down further towards that armoire or that wardrobe down there in the back, maybe, but I just didn't want everything just crammed into each other. They are now, but not as bad as it was or could be. I can at least now move this water bottle or spray bottle that I got to spray off the paddleboard before I put it on top of my car, because I didn't want it rusting out the roof of my car with salt water dripping everywhere. So you move that out of the way, and I can just wheel my kayak right out, push it right back in. I'm not angling it in. I've still got plenty of room back behind it. I got another 4 feet, 2 feet before I hit that rack back there. So yeah, this will make it easier, and I'm a mile or less from the water. Hey, how about that? So that's what I've been doing. Took me all day. It's been about 5 hours to get this crap all straightened up. All these boxes, all this stuff was just shoved in here just to get it out of the other storage. And I'm gonna come over here one of these days and pull the kayak out, maybe one day when it's raining, and pull it out there, let it sit in the parking lot, and reach back there and start getting some of those fishing poles and seeing what's what with those. I think I've got like 25 Japanese fly fishing rods back there, and those are those things in the plastic right there. But those were purchased to make ham radio, spider radio, Moonraker spider, I don't know, multi-band antenna, and I just kind of lost the burn for ham radio and CB radio, and I got a whole bunch of crap, and I probably need to bring in a whole bunch of that crap over here. But you can see I haven't been out in the water, and I wash this thing off all the time, and this thing's starting to get kind of rusty. So I don't know if I want all the radio gear sitting out here in the heat and humidity. But yeah, this is the storage unit. And again, like that basket doesn't necessarily have to be up there. That was supposed to be a live bait well, instead of that Hobie crate right there, that was going to be there, and the motor's around here somewhere. And I've got a whole bunch of that going on around in here somewhere. So who knows? Maybe I'll get the bug to condense and start tossing stuff out. And getting, I got real quiet when I said that. But like that shelf right there, that's a water hose. That doesn't need to be up there, but there's space. And this, just kind of laid out, not a big deal. One of my buckets around here somewhere has got all my 3-in-1 oil and stuff like that, so I can use that knife sharpener right there, that 3 different grit right there. And just flip it. It's a triangle shaped thing. But yeah, this is what I needed to get done today, and I, met my goal, met my expectations, and had to put those little rails across there, those white rails, to set that grinder on. Because putting it on the stand, that would make too much sense. But this over there, that black thing, it's right there. So yeah, you can see all the crap that's everywhere. All my different kinds of boots and stuff like that, snake boots, waders. There's all kinds of fishing crap up in there. I mean, like all kinds, like beach fishing crap up there. And I don't know if I've ever done a video on it or even talked about it. There's a 15 and a couple 14s and 13-foot heavers back there for shore fishing, for like, when they start running down the coast. But the only problem with that is the last time I went out, they were freaking out that they didn't want people fishing on the beach because it was attracting sharks. And I'm like, really? The sharks are there. There ain't no attracting nothing. So anywho, that's what the news, weather, and sports are. And it's it is what it is. So thank you for taking this little venture into my storage unit. Yay! And hopefully, see, I thought I was going to have room here, and if I didn't have 3 of these, I was thinking if this one wasn't here, I could put a closet pole here, and I could put my hang my immersion suit in here. But it's probably doesn't need to be out here in the humidity and the cold. So it's staying at the house. But it's all here. So thank you for stopping by. I hope this didn't just bore you completely to tears. Think about subscribing and liking my stuff. These are the bags that were, by the way, those are tool bags. That one's full of rags. That one's full of tools. And there's, that was all in the back of the Subaru. And there was just so much stuff I was carrying around. I just said no. But now I've got all these leather bags that I bought. And so now they're sitting in here. They have stuff in them. And there's one more in the car still. And there's like 5 at the house. So, I think maybe what I may be doing is pulling those down, because I've got a couple leather suitcases that I want to get out of my office space at home and store those up there. And I've got a whole bunch of baskets that size. But I've got 2 foraging baskets with a back, like a backpack open basket. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff there that just makes getting in and out of my office space, kind of a hurdle. So anywho, I appreciate you hanging out, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.